Okay, hi and welcome everybody. So glad you're here on this fine Thursday evening. So welcome, welcome. So glad you're here. It's month end. Are any of you that are here shooting for something in particular? Are there some goals you're trying to hit before the end of the month? If so, I'd love to hear about it. Put that in the chat. We'd love to celebrate with you. But there's some other things we can celebrate because with it being end of the month, I hope that many of you have new sales already this month, or you have a new pet pro. That's what our call is about tonight is new pet pros and sponsoring. So if you haven't sponsored, maybe you'll get some ideas. I know you'll get some ideas tonight. What about Cash Stash? Do you have Cash Stash this month? Do you have any pet quiz prospects from the last week? Do you have a new pet pro that has new PV? They've either placed their own first order or they've got some customer sales. We want to hear all about it. So let's see in the chat. Oh, Audrey's wanting to hit soar. Well, you are pretty darn close. What is it now? She keeps giving me the updates. How much more until you can say it's official? How many more dollars? I know we're working towards sales volume. So congrats to you. Audrey has two new pet pros and one is active this month. That is so exciting. Congratulations. And Trisha, you have some exciting news too that happened just today. I'll highlight it again here in a minute, but she and I have been messaging today as well, and good things happening in your world too. So anything you guys want to shout out, I want to hear about it. I would love to hear about it. And if we don't have any, we'll just move on. I have new pet pros. I'll shout mine out. I've got two pet pros so far this month. My goal was two, but I want to get more. I have a few more. I'm still fingers crossed. We still have till Sunday. So hoping for the best between now and Sunday. Been following up with them today. And yeah, Trisha, one new pet pro just joined today, and she's one of our guest presenters tonight. So you'll be excited to hear from her. What is she doing to help get these pet pros? So thanks, Audrey. Okay, well, if there's anything else, we want to hear about it. Just keep putting it in the chat. We'll keep celebrating you, okay? Because we love to celebrate. And if there's something that you really want to make happen before the end of the month, we want to cheer you on for that too. So put that in the chat. So what's happening at Pottery? We go through, if this is your first time here, actually, will you let us know? Tell us if this is your first meeting. We love to welcome first timers. And we just go through quickly what is happening at Pottery. What are some of the things up this month or this season? So let's get to some of that. We'll go through that pretty quickly. One is PawFest. That was our talk all last week. We talked all about PawFest, why you want to be there. It's our annual convention, and early bird registration is coming to a close very soon. We have just a couple weeks left of early bird registration. So June 9th is the last day to take advantage of that $299 price. Otherwise, you're going to be spending $100 more. And I can't tell you how many times that happens, that the deadline comes and it's the very next day, someone's like, dang it, I forgot to register. So do not delay. You can even put a deposit down. Just $50 will get you at least secure your spot, secure your early bird rate, and then you can make payments along the way. So $199, if you're a first-time attendee, we would love to see you there. It is so worth the investment because you learn about products, you learned about the company, you get to meet the amazing staff. There's many valuable, I mean, we took a whole hour to talk about it last week, right? There's so many great benefits to joining us at PawFest. So watch that training from last week. If you're on the fence or still considering and know there's a place for you, we hope that you'll join us there. And this is what Audrey was, Whistler. Let's go to Whistler. Sorry, Whistler. So this is our campaign that's happening. You only have the rest of this month in June to earn it. And they have been giving us the top 10, like who's close to earning this trip. This will take place in October. And you can get more details on your back office dashboard. You can click on the details and it will tell you all about Whistler, what it takes. So we'll just kind of breeze through this quickly because we've got lots to cover tonight. But here's our top 20. And I think this is the last time we will see the top 20 list. Am I right? Is that right? Today was the last day we'll be getting an update. So if you are on this list, congratulations. I know some of you are in the room right now. So congrats. Let's see, who can we shout out? Kathy and Mike are usually here. Brittany is here. So Kathy and Mike are number 12. Brittany, you are 13. Joe, you are 14 if you're here. I know she will be here eventually. Amy Jones, 15. Who else did? Maria, 18. Tasha, 19. Heather and Jacob, they are 20. So what an amazing accomplishment. If you're on this list, you have a good chance of making that trip to Whistler. So would love to see, and I have to say, you have to be at PawFest for your name to be drawn. So if your name is on this list and you are not registered for PawFest, you better get yourself registered because it would be a real sad bummer to not earn the trip because of not heading to PawFest. So there you go. Congratulations to our top 20. Super, super exciting. Okay, let's see. And we have two in the waiting room. It's showing me. So make sure those folks get in here. And then this is what Audrey was saying. Audrey was saying that she wants SOAR. That is what she's shooting for between now and the end of the month. So this is it's a really fun program that you have to earn it today. Well, May and June are kind of your last 2 months. So same concept. You need to get the details. I don't want to spend too much time here, but I would love for you to take advantage of coming to SOAR. It's a really special luncheon. I mean, we get to tour the warehouse. You get special recognition on stage, but it's just a really special qualification that we met last year as well. They had something last year called Grow. And it's just a really wonderful time. You get there a day early, and it's kind of a small, intimate group. You get to have lunch with Roger, our founder and CEO, and some of the staff there, or all the staff, actually. I believe all the directors are there. So it's a lot of fun to be there together. And we'll go to, what are they called? What is it called? The Dallas, this little ball here. What are they calling it? Oh, what is it called? Someone come off mute and tell me, where we get to go tour this really cool, I mean, the warehouse especially, but there's something.
Reunion Tower.
Thank you. Thank you. You and Maria both. The Reunion Tower. We get to go tour that and be there. And I believe that's where our luncheon is. So really, really special. You don't want to miss it. I mean, you still have the rest of this month and next month to qualify. So get with your sponsor. They can tell you all about it. We would love to have you there too, but you have to be a PawFest to come. So this was the last little plug we'll do for book club. We will meet in 2 weeks. We're going to meet together and talk about this as part of the connection call. So we would love for you to come. Even if you haven't read the book, I highly encourage you to read the book. It's been wonderful. I've loved it. I've really gained a lot. We've talked a lot about it. Yeah, Brittany, go ahead. Did you have a question? Did I say
Nope,
something
I
wrong?
hit that on accident.
Oh, okay, good. I'm like, I probably said something wrong. Brittany's our fact checker, so thanks for always being available. But so 2 weeks, we'll be talking about this book in 2 weeks. We invite you to come, and we would love for you to even read the first few chapters. It doesn't matter. We would love for you to read the whole book, but it's not too late to participate in this book club. This is the book. Take a picture of it, take a screenshot so you know which one to buy. There's several titles of the same book, but it's Brian Tracy is the author. And I'm just really loving the mindset shift that I've had since I started reading it about a month ago. It's been really fantastic. So I'd encourage you to come to that. And we'll be discussing that in 2 weeks. Okay, let's get to our topic tonight. That's why you're here, right? You want to hear about training and how to sponsoring, how to sponsor, how to onboard once they've enrolled. What can we do to keep them there, to give them success? So I'm going to be leading a little bit of a discussion, and I have some training on what's next, the onboarding piece. So let's get to that. We have some special guests with us. And actually, tell me again, I want to see in the chat before we move to the next slide. I want to hear who has sponsored recently, like in the last, let's say, month, this month or last month. So either April or May, who has sponsored a Pet Pro? I would love to know. So Audrey has. Yes, we're going to hear from you soon. Who else is sponsored? Trisha. I know many of you have. Brittany has. Karen, I know you have too. Karen's been sponsoring. Tell me, are you one? Maria has a brand new Pet Pro on today. Okay, good, Patty. I'd asked that at the beginning of the call, but she probably hadn't been on yet. So those that are new, we want to welcome you for your first connection call training and hope that you'll join us again. We do this every week. So welcome, Patty. Congrats on joining your Patry or joining the Patry family. We're so happy you're here. So let me ask another question. Who is here because they want tips on sponsoring? They want to sponsor, they're maybe having they're feeling stuck with sponsoring. Does that resonate with anyone? Because if so, you're in the right place. Put that in the chat. Are you wanting tips on sponsoring and onboarding? Often, the reason why we're kind of pairing this together is often we hear that, like, I don't have a problem sponsoring, but after the fact, I don't hear from them anymore. Like, they come, they join, and then they disappear. So that's why it's kind of a two-part series. We're going to talk about those that are having success with sponsoring, and then, talk about what we do after. So Tracy's saying yes. Dawn wants and needs all. Love it. Okay. And then Trisha's always wanting the tips, especially onboarding. Great. Audrey's saying, I want all the tips, never stop learning. I love that attitude. That actually comes from the book as well. If you're reading the book, he talks about that you don't ever want to stop learning. When you get to that point that you're not learning or you're thinking, I know it all, that's a really dangerous place to be. So way to go. That's great, Audrey. Kathleen, I always want to hear from others on sponsoring and onboarding. Me too. It's always great to hear. New ideas. Okay. Want to sponsor? Been talking to a few, but none have joined yet. Okay, Lisa, then you're in the right place, right? We're going to talk more about it. And that's one of the questions we have for our little panel today is, how did you get them from point A to point B, which is like prospect to a pet pro. Okay, let's see. All the above. What is onboarding? Robin, great question. Onboarding is like once they enroll, what are some of those next steps? How do we get them on and have some success and some wins right away? That's what I would consider onboarding. And Kat, I don't think you can ever know it all. Yep, it's so true when it comes to sponsoring, especially. And it changes. It's interesting because the slides I prepared for the onboarding piece, we did a call maybe like a year ago. I think these slides were a year ago, and I made a lot of tweaks. It's always changing. There's always things that evolve and change. So anyway, Bridget, I'm fairly new and in the onboarding process. Wonderful. Then you can learn from this and hope and even chime in and add your 2 cents of what's been helpful being new and onboarding and so forth. So we may even pick on you a little bit. So, okay, well, good. Well, let's just get right to it. Okay. So first, we're going to first hear from Trisha. Trisha Nenny, she's a vice president. She has sponsored 5 pet pros in the last few months. And I had originally about 1 hour ago, this slide said sponsored 4 pet pros. And she sent me a message and said, I sponsored another person. So in the last 2 hours, Trisha has sponsored someone else. So I tried to make it all cute and put like an X through the 4 and make it 5, but it wasn't working for me. So just imagine that. Okay. Imagine the 4 crossed out 5. But so proud of you, Trisha. You are just a rock star. So let's turn it over to you for a minute. I gave you some questions kind of I can ask them to you, or if you kind of already know what you're going to say. This is just more of like testimonial time. So if you need me to ask, happy to, but if you're ready to just jump right in, you just
No,
go
go,
for it.
yeah, go ahead and ask.
Okay. Well, first of all, where did you meet these pet pros that you've sponsored? These 5 folks, where did you meet them? How did you find them?
So two of them, well, okay, one of them has been a customer, and I met her a while back because I think you guys know, but I do most of my business on um, Facebook shopping events. So Kim and I have been, in groups together and whatnot for like a couple years now. She bought some stuff, and she buys more stuff. And then I know for her it was a big concern because she had 2 big labs, and and so eventually she got onto doing the allergy stuff, and I was like, you can pay yourself back a little bit if you join as a pet bro. So she did. Um, she's toying with the idea of promoting it, but she's still not quite ready to do that. So that worked out pretty well. And honestly, the one that I just got today too, Stephanie and I have been in groups together for a while. And she's bought occasionally, and she sent me a message the other night, like out of the blue, because she had bought some treats for her dogs, and said, I'm gonna join.
Love
And
it.
I was like, okay. Turns out she had been a pet pro before too.
Okay. Okay.
Um, so yeah, she's back and she's done, the math, and she's gonna save some money on the allergy stuff, and I can't remember she wanted to try flat control, and she's like, with 3 dogs, I need to pay myself back a little bit. So um,
Love it.
those two, I've known for a while, and we've had some conversations, and you just never know when, a conversation or just, a sale from an event is going to turn into something more. Um, the other one, and she's not active yet, but I found her, or she messaged me because occasionally I will post out on Threads, which is a whole nother social
Mm-hmm.
media platform. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not real popular, but I do that every once in a while. And she reached out with a message and was like, how do I start?
Love
And
it.
she doesn't even have a pet. So, it's a little bit more for her to get going on that, I think. But, so it's just, you don't know where people are going to see your message and respond to you. And then Christy, my other newest one, again, I think it was in a shopping event, and she ordered something. And when she was getting ready to place her order, I said, maybe you want to join because she has a couple dogs too. So I find people with more than one pet are more apt to say yes to that, because you do, make commission off your own purchases. And she's already qualified and she's signed up for events, and I see her posting, and she is just off and running with it. So that's really awesome.
That is so, so awesome. I love it. And I'm writing down because I want to show at the end of this call, I want everyone to hear where these customers, I'm going to kind of recap where all these customers or Pet Pros came from. Because, and I love that you said, like, you never know. You just never know where they're going to come from. You have to be willing to put yourself out there. But it looks like, I mean, social media is treating you well. You are doing well on social
Yeah,
media. Yeah, that's
yeah.
awesome.
One thing I want to add to Trisha and both Trishas is, even if they join just to get commission back on their own purchases, a lot of times it will just organically or naturally lead into them starting to
Yeah.
share, even if they come on thinking they're not going to. I've seen that
Well,
happen a lot.
and
So
and
true.
yeah, Stephanie and I had that conversation earlier today. And honestly, that's how my story was. I just started because I wanted, the discount for myself. And once I saw how good the results with Max and Minnie were, I was like, I just can't keep that to myself. And I had been doing a different company in the Facebook events, and so it was just a natural. I'm like, this is where I'm gonna go, and people like to spoil their pets, so you know,
Like a win-win.
and
That's
and
so
there's
great.
not a lot of competition out there either, so
Well,
that's a
it's
good bonus in that.
yeah, for sure. In fact, I had someone respond to a post of mine saying everybody around me does this, and I was like, "Oh, who? I would love to know their names." I really was calling them out. I'm like, "There is no way. There are a lot of people doing this in your town. Like, where is it and who are they? I want to know names and I want to know locations.
Right?
You're lying to me." That's what I wanted to say. But love it, Trisha. This is awesome. And you kind of answered the second question because the second question was, how did you get them from A to be, meaning a prospect or a customer to a pet pro? And you answered for the most part that some people raised their hand first and said, "Hey, I want to do this. This makes a lot of sense," or "This is right up my alley." But in some cases, it sounds like you may have planted that seed at some point. Like this is something you could do, especially when you said,
Yep.
"That's how I started. I started loving the products, using it for myself, and then thought, man, I could keep going." So tell us where that conversation happened. Was it in the beginning? Was it in the middle? Like, do you recall when you planted those seeds
Um,
to your customers?
with Kim, we've actually been talking about it for quite a while. And again, it's kind of like just following up with your customers, after they get an order. Hey, how was everything? How's the dog like it? Is it working out for your cat? I kind of do the same thing. Every once in a while, I will reach back out and say, hey, have you thought about, you know, joining? We've talked about it, and Kim and I talked about it for probably a good 6 to 9 months before she finally said yes. So again, it's that whole fortune in the follow-up.
Mm-hmm.
You follow up with your prospects, you follow up with people who are like, well, maybe, and it's the same thing with signing them as a pet pro. Just keep following up. I've got this groomer girl that when I first talked to her about it, she was like, yes, I'm gonna do it. And then, life got in the way, but I still send her a message like every month, every other month, just to be like, have you decided to join me yet?
Yep, still here. Well, we're here when you're ready.
Still
Yeah,
waiting.
love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, so good. Well, thank you. And the last thing I wanted to highlight before we move on to our next is I'm really proud of you for identifying each person by name, that you know exactly who is new on your team. Like that to me is really a great example of like you know exactly who they are and where you found them. I just think that's really great. That's what we all should strive to do, is know exactly
Yeah.
who's on our team and when they enrolled and how they enrolled and so forth. So great example
Okay.
there.
I did have to make a little list though, because, I get a little nervous and forget things. So, but yeah.
Well, very proud of you. Very proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing and so
Thank you for
excited for
having
you.
me.
And yeah, glad you could be here today. Thanks so much, Trisha.
Thank you.
Hey, next, let's hear from our next rock star, Audrey. Audrey is on with us tonight. Audrey is a senior director. She has sponsored 4 Pet Pros in the last couple months, 2 of them, and I know you're working on your third this month, and she's got big goals for SOAR. So let's hear from Audrey. Same questions for you. Where did you find these four pet pros?
So two of them, my furthest back, Roxanne and Leela, they are actually, I met them at church,
Okay.
and just through actually a book club that we went to. And I
Love
took
it.
my gorgeous little guy here that has poultry. I don't know if you guys have one of these, but great conversation starter. I took one of those, and that's kind of how we just started talking about it. They just kind of jumped right in and decided they wanted to do it. That was my first two. Um, and then I had my friend Rachel. I have known Rachel for a very long time, 20 years or something. Like I've known her for a long time. We've had an on and off relationship. Like there's times we hated each other, but
So
we
funny.
are both forgiving people. And so we've worked out all the kinks. And just recently she decided she wanted to join. She is not active yet. She's one of the first pet pros I think I've signed up that didn't start with a pack. I like to sign them up with packs, but I'll still take one even if they're not signing up with a pack. And I'm trying to coach her. She's a little stagnant right now, not really responding to me. So I just was like, hey, everything okay? And she hasn't responded, so I'm going to leave that until she responds. Don't want to bug her too much. But my very latest one is Carmela. She was a customer. I acquired her quite ironically through we went on a mission trip last year in August and we had to board our dogs. So the place we boarded our dogs had a lady that worked there that is Carmela's best friend. And so through Miss Holly at the place that we boarded, she messaged Carmela about the products because there was kind of a little ordeal with like, I'm particular about what my dogs eat, especially them being all seniors and pretty old. So there was a schedule and they didn't quite follow it. And so there was this whole little bit of a thing. But through that, it actually kind of worked out really good. And because of me being so particular with their food, Holly shared that info with Carmela, and Carmela became almost an instant customer with me. And she purchases monthly, several $100s. And I was like, hey, girl, this promotion came up, and she just recently opened a little shop. And so, like a little vendor shop where she has a couple little vendors. She has vendor shows there. And she knew I did the vendor shows. And so I was like, why don't you just start doing it then? She had originally asked me to do it. I'm hours and hours away. And I was like, well, why don't you do it? And she was like, oh, I never thought about that. So I've been chatting with her for a couple months now, and probably about a month now. And then she was going to wait till June to start. Then she asked me what the difference was if signing up. And I'm like, well, you get those free treats, those free snacks, the seasonings. And she was like, okay, send me the link. So got her
Love it.
going. She just purchased her first, she got active here yesterday, I think. So
Awesome.
yes, still one in the works, my sister-in-law. So she's supposed to be signing up as well. So hopefully one more active this month.
Well, I love it. I love the example too, because I'm hearing similarities to Trisha's, right? Customer turned pet pro, which just gives more proof of why it's so essential to enroll customers too, because you never know where they will
Yep.
go. But friend, church acquaintances, tell me about, you said you had the mug. My daughter, it came in, so I may have missed it, but you had the mug. And did they ask questions like, what is that? Or did you just like keep drinking and
Yes.
hoping that we could start a conversation? Or yeah, what
This is
happened?
seriously like one of my pro tips for like getting conversations started. That's why we have the back office with the pro shop, because you buy a shirt, you buy it, which also tax write off, guys. Buy a shirt, buy a mug, buy something that's advertising your product like this. And that's exactly how it started. I was at the book club and I always bring my mug with me and my water and everything. And I believe it was Leela. She was new to the book club as well, new to the church as well. And she was like, so what's poultry? What is that? And I was kind of, I won't lie, a little nervous at first. I'm a little nervous when I enter a room full of, 15 new women that I just met and all the things. And so I was just like, it's a pet company. And like, that's all I didn't even really say too much at first. But then I touched back with her because we met for like I think it was a Bible study or something. We met back together and I was like, also, I didn't do a very good job selling my product to you. And she ended up being somebody that has been in MLMs and has been in network marketing and has been in stuff, so she's aware, she's got it already down. And she was like, "No, I want to know more." So that
Love
actually
it.
helped. Shirts with our logos really helped too. And we have a hoodie, a brown hoodie. It's really heavy duty, and on the back of it says, "Say hello to your dog for me." And
Cute.
I have gotten so many people to be like, or just comment on it or say something, or they'll be like, um, they'll ask for my name, or they'll say, well, who do I tell my dog hi from then? And then I can give them my name and give them my card if I have one, or just like talk like that. So, um, that's been fun being able to do that with the
Yeah.
stuff like this. Yeah.
Love it. What great advice, because it's a conversation you'd said it gets you a little nervous to talk in front of a group, but how great that the group asked you. They came to you. Trisha said the same thing. It was really nice. Sometimes she posts things and they come to her and say, "Hey, I
Yep.
want to do this." Like people with experience, people that know the industry and see something with pets. It's like ding, ding, ding. Like, yes, I want to do this. I love pets. Like, why wouldn't I do this? So it's really great. If you do feel shy or a little bit like, having yourself branded, I think is a really good way to start conversation. So, but
I
also
agree.
really proud of you for just putting yourself out there, joining the book clubs, doing the vendor shows, reaching out to former friends and consistently following up. That's what I'm hearing too, is that you're the queen of following up as well. So great job.
Yes,
Very proud of
absolutely.
you. Very proud of
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, well, let's move on. Let's see. I gotta stay on track. I'm asking lots of questions. It's good though. We want to hear from all of you, but there's lots to cover tonight. So let's talk to Kat. I know Kat is here. Thanks again, Audrey. Appreciate you being here and being prepared.
Absolutely.
So Kat, hi, welcome to the
Hey,
call. So
thank
glad you're
you.
here. Tell us about so she's a senior director. Kat's a senior director. She was just recently on the PA trip with me.
I
It was
am
so
an
fun.
executive director,
Oh my
man.
gosh, you are executive director.
I'm very proud of it.
That's really sad. And guess who her sponsor is, you guys? I am. So don't
It's
you think I
really
should know
important
that?
to know your pet pros and where they are in the company. Just
You know what? I'm so glad. I'm actually so glad that you can just call me out and be like, excuse me, excuse me.
excuse me.
Oh my gosh,
I was
that's
like,
really
Tina,
sad.
that doesn't look right.
Yeah, that
What's
doesn't look right. I'm exactly like she's on her way to VP. How could I miss that? I think it's because I copied and pasted a slide from Audrey. I'm so sorry. I think that's what happened. I know
busted?
better. I know better. Kat, thanks for calling me out. And like I said, she's my level one. I sponsored Kat, so I really should know that she's an executive director.
That was
Oh
hilarious.
goodness. Thanks for calling me out. Anyway, you sponsored two pet pros in the last few months. And I love where you found these people because we have a lot of people doing what you're doing. So I love that this is how they came about. So will you tell us a little bit about where you found your new pet pros, how they came about?
Okay, yes. But first I have to tell Audrey that I just went right on to the Pet Pro page and was like, or the pottery page and was like, I gotta buy that sweatshirt.
I love it.
I need that.
Cute. And we had two. We had
But I love
Bridget. Bridget's
better.
like, how do I get those? So we like, typing in the chat. She might be doing the same thing. So way to go, Audrey.
I gotta get back on and talk on this thing. So okay.
Love it.
First thing I want to say is that I've been trying to get Pet Pros using ads, and we have this little it's a city classifieds thing called KSL classifieds. And so I have run an ad on that, and I have gotten tons of pet pros, but none of them respond to me. We talk, and none of them. I don't know if any of them have. So I have a whole bunch of pet pros, and I'm not saying don't do ads. I'm just saying maybe I'm doing something wrong with that. But I'm saying the way that I've gotten the ones that are actually doing things and active are from events. And so I've been at events, I'm talking to people, and if they're really passionate about their pet, then I just say, hey, are you looking for any other way to earn income? It seems like you're really passionate about your pet. And if they say yes, then I'm like, cool, let me tell you about you could totally do this with me. And, I do events like this, or you can do online events, or, I just kind of talk to them about it. But I think Heidi's actually on here, but she was one where I was at an event and she came and talked to me, and she ended up buying stuff. And I was like, you just seem like the type of person that would love this. Like, you love your pet, and So anyways, and she tried this stuff and she loved it. And then I invited her to our Utah get together that we have once a month. And she came to that, and I correct me if I'm wrong, Heidi, but I think she just saw how amazing and fun we all are. And she was like, I got to be part of this. No, but anyways, but yeah, that helped. I think she came into that, and that was a lot of fun to have her there. And then I also kept following up. Like I kept, contacting her. Hey, is this something you still want to look at? Or do you have any questions? Or how did things go? What did you think of the get together? And she ended up signing up and has been a rock star. She's been doing awesome, and it's been so fun to work with her. So I'm excited to keep going with her. I have another one. Her name is Amy, and I met her like the month I signed up with Pottery. We went to Nashville to visit family, and we were staying in an Airbnb. It was her Airbnb. And her husband was there talking to us, and he had their two dogs. And I was so nervous, and I was like, I'm just starting this thing. And I was like so nervous. And I gave them my little flyer thing I had and just told them about the company a little bit. And a couple months later, I get a text from her saying, is this like a network marketing thing? Like, I do Mary Kay and I want to look into this. But she didn't sign up. And I followed up with her for like a year and a half. Like every 3 months or so, I would reach out again and be like, hey, there's this new offer to sign up. It's this, and this. Do you think you'd want to look at it? And she'd be like, oh, yeah, not yet. But, and I'd be like, is it okay if I keep following up with you? Yeah, it's fine. And there were even a couple times she was like, okay, this is the last time we're talking, and I still followed up with her again like 3 months later. Yeah, you just keep coming up in my mind, and I just wanted to reach out, and she finally signed up. So fortune in the follow-up is huge. And then my other one, Marcy, that has been a rock star lately too. She was also at an event and ordered stuff. And she was just like, is this one of those like businesses? Like, and I was like, yeah, and just told her what I was doing and how I was doing it. And she was like, I want to sign up. And so that worked out too. But you have to ask, like, you got to talk, you got to say something like, hey, did you know that this is a business you could do? Like, if you think this is cool, then it's something you could do if you're looking for something you could do on the side. So hopefully that's all helpful. And I hope
it is for me. I mean, it is for me. Like your Airbnb host. Did you guys hear that? How often do you stay at Airbnbs, right? Like, I I think that's just incredible that you got your Airbnb host but also the follow-up aspects.
talk to. It's like so scared.
So great, so great. But at Fortune in the follow-up, I've heard that with all three of you so far. So really, really proud of you. And if anyone has questions, pop them in the chat too, because I'm kind of trying to cruise through to make sure we get to everybody. So be sure and pop your questions in the chat. We'll make sure we get to them. But thanks, Kat. Thanks so much, our executive director, soon to be VP. I need one of those X's on this too. The X I was trying to get on the 4/5 Pet Pros senior director, no more. That's what helped her earn part of the trip, you guys, was getting executive director. So thanks, Kat. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you. Okay, Joe. Cute Joe. Joe is a vice president, right? Let's make sure I'm right about that. She's sponsored 6 Pet Pros in the last few months. I'm so proud of her. And same as Kat. Well, I don't want to steal your thunder, actually. Joe, you're here, right? I saw that she made it. Is she here?
Yes, I'm here.
There you are. Okay, great. I don't want to steal the thunder. Where did you find at least the last few Pet Pros that you've sponsored? Where'd they come from?
Events that I did, that I was doing. And one of them was a returning Pet Pro, a former Pet Pro that came back.
Love it.
So, yeah, I found some things that helped to give me confidence to talk about the opportunity more. So I've been talking about it more in sort of a passing way. I have a flyer that I use instead of a business card, and it's two-sided. And one side is like customer facing, and the other side is more about the opportunity. And so when I would give it to people, I would tell them about the customer side, and I would say, this side is these products have an affiliate opportunity or a brand partner opportunity, depending on who I'm talking to, and attached to them. And that's what this side is about. If you can completely ignore it, or if you're curious and you want to learn more, you can scan this QR code and it will take you to a place where you can learn more.
And that's part of your initial, like you did that right away. So like that
Yes.
seed was planted in your very first course, communication with them. Right? Is that
Correct.
what I'm hearing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So it's never a
Okay.
surprise.
Cool. Very cool.
Or almost never. And then I have felt like I lacked some confidence talking about, not confidence. I felt like if somebody wanted to walk away and look at information, I have never really liked what I've had available to me to give them. I have never felt like it spoke to me in a way that if I was reading it cold would make me want to work with this company. Because to me, every time we have calls and things like that, and people are talking about how great this company is, yes, it's about the products, but way more than that, it's about the ethics of the company. It's about Roger. It's about the environment and the atmosphere that the company brings to the fore. It's about the founding of the company and the reason behind it. That's the heart of this company to me. And I felt like I did not have anything I could give people that would express that to them. I had things that talk about money, but money's great. But if you're not a company that somebody wants to attach themselves to or partner with, that's not enough generally, especially in a sales standpoint where you're not getting a regular paycheck, that you can count on. You're not on salary or whatever. Or getting an hourly wage. So I finally just made something. I was like, I don't have it. I need to just sit down with ChatGPT and a bunch of transcripts, and I need to make something that says what a lot of our videos say, what a couple of our website pages say, but something that paper people like me can walk away and hold in their hand, touch and feel and see, and get a feeling for this company. I honestly just started using them this month. I don't know if it helped, but I do know that it helped me feel like when somebody was curious and wanted to learn more, but didn't want to make a decision on the spot, it helped me feel much more confident talking to them in more detail, that I have something I can hand them that I'm comfortable with, that I love, that will speak to them in my absence as long as they read it. Right? That's all we can do.
But I love what you shared with me over the weekend is that just even creating it and having it, you almost feel like boosted your confidence. Like it almost helped you feel more empowered, whether or not they read it. It just helped you feel like I see kind of a structure of how this conversation could go. I think it just helped build your confidence, right? Isn't that what you shared with me?
And also, I'm not gonna lie, it got me excited to talk about sponsoring. It got me wanting,
cool.
it got me wanting to have conversations that led to me giving them those documents.
Love it.
I wanted to give them out, but I didn't want to
love
just
that.
give them willy-nilly. I wanted to have a reason to give them out. And I think it caused me to guide more conversations in that direction.
That is really cool. That is super, super cool. Love that. Love that. So if you feel like you're lacking the confidence, make something that gets you excited about sharing it. She shared it with me last week and I thought it was amazing. It was really great. But I love that it was your kind of version, like it's what helped flow the conversation, like the philanthropy that we can offer too. Like that speaks to you. And so that's what was on this flyer, right? Things that spoke to you and helped you feel more excited about sharing. So very good, Joe. And I'm just really proud they came from events too. All 6 that have come, 3 of them came from the events. The other 3, quickly, do you recall?
No.
5
came from events. 1 was a returning pet pro.
Pet pro. Okay, amazing. I know there's a lot of pet pros doing events out there. So I hope this gives you courage, excitement about talking to people about the opportunity, planting the seed, because as you've heard from everyone else, customer turn pet pro. That often happens, but you've got to plant the seed first so that they know that's a possibility, right? So love it, love it. Okay, let's see. Did I miss anything, Joe? Is there anything else?
I don't think so. I'll just say that was 6 in 2 months.
6 in 2 months. Did you guys hear that? 6 in 2 months. She's on the leaderboard for sponsoring, also on the leaderboard for Paw Clubs, in case you're counting. She's also on the leaderboard for Whistler. So you've had a good couple months, Joe. Pretty awesome. Very proud of you.
Yes.
That is awesome. Okay, let's see. I have about 20 minutes left. Thank you so much, Joe. Everybody that participated tonight, and Robin, if we have time, we will get to you, but I have a couple things I've got to cover about onboarding. So I got to make sure I get to that too. So let me stop sharing. I have another little slide deck I'm going to bring up here. Get to it really fast. Sorry, guys. It always takes me a minute to transition. You know how that goes. So I love these conversations around sponsoring. Love it. I love getting people into the business. They finally, we follow up, and you hear about Amy that Kat talked about, that it was months and months and then a year and then a year and a half later, and she finally enrolls. And then what? We want them to have success. We want them to jump right in and get some wins right away so that they feel like this is a place for me. I want to be here. This is home. So what's next, right? What happens after that? So I just have a really short, these are tried and true. This is what I do month after month. And like I said, this is an old presentation that I did like a year ago, and I've modified it even more. So things are changing and evolving to a degree, but for the most part, this is like the core of what I do when I sponsor. And if you're a pet pro on here that has done even parts of this, I want you to throw it in the chat. I want you to say, yes, I do this. Yep, this resonates. This is good. Or I want to hear, I need to improve on this, or I would love to start implementing this. I want to hear it all. Okay, let's have this be as interactive as possible. So, oh, Robin, I'm just seeing your thing. Oh man, you are busy. You are a busy lady. So maybe it was meant to be. I'm sorry. Sorry that I dropped the ball on that. You can see I drop the ball quite often, right? Okay, but here is what I want you to think about when you sponsor before they enroll. These are the things I feel are super important to talk about before they enroll, establishing those expectations. Okay, so I want you to know, why are they joining? Are they excited about the products? Are they excited about earning commissions? Are they excited about incentive trips or recognition? Are they excited about the community and they want to feel part of something? You heard from every single person tonight that all of their pet pros fit into one of those for the most part. Heidi joined because it was fun to be part of this group and she loved the products. And so it's like, yeah, why wouldn't I do this? This is great. You heard that customer turned pet pro. They love the products. They love them. And it just felt easy and natural to either share or at least just get the discount, right? Some are motivated by money, but what is it that got them to join? And we're going to dive a little bit deep. Well, we're going to do that right here. Get clear on their why. Dig deep to determine what's going to keep them here when things get hard. What's going to put them into action? Because motivation will fade. Have anybody felt that before? Motivation, starts to slip a little bit, but feelings, they can fluctuate. And so when you can get to their real purpose of why they're here, it helps them and carries them through when people say no, because they're going to hear no's from family, right? From family members, from friends. They're going to say, no, it's too expensive, or no, or just not talk to them, not get back to them, ghost them. So the emotional aspect of why they joined the business, they need to be super clear on, because that will carry them through. Does that make sense? When people say no, when sales are slow, when they have a slower month, motivation can fade really quickly when you're having a slow month. But if there's an emotional piece tied to that I want to change my circumstances, or I love being at that team meeting every month, or I love PawFest, I wouldn't miss it. That's what gets me through. It'll keep you from quitting. It'll also carry you when team members quit. How many of you had a team member quit and you get that email that says Pet Pro has requested cancellation? And you're just like, no, oh, come on. Like, you work so hard to get them. So a strong why will carry you through that as well. Or when life gets busy, right? This will still be a priority because you have a very strong emotional why. So I want you to think of that every time you enroll a Pet Pro. What are they excited about? The people who last in this business are usually the people most connected to their reason. So I want you to, that's why to me, it's so important to always be asking them. Here's tip number 2. So get their why. That was number 1. Number 2, how much time do they have to devote to this new business? Is it 30 minutes a day? Is it 1 to 2 hours a day? Is it part-time, full-time? I think it's really essential to establish this before they enroll. How much time do you want? Now you know why they want to enroll. They want to enroll because they want to earn, let's say, $500 a month. They need an extra 500 to help pay for their pet products. And just because life is so darn expensive right now, right? That 500 would make a big difference in their life. So, okay, I know that. So how much time can you put in? If they're telling me, well, like an hour a week, it's not enough. Sorry, it's just not. Like I can tell you right now, 1 hour a week is not going to get you $500 a month anytime soon. Sure, it could like months down the road, but if you're looking for 500 quickly, we need to jump on it. Like it can't be an hour a week. Do they have at least 30 minutes a day? Do they have 1 to 2 hours each day? Can they do it full-time, part-time? Okay, so that's something that you need to establish beforehand because it's managing expectations. If they want this, but their commitment is here, it's a misalignment. You got to get them aligned. Okay. But number 3, the third tip is I hold them to it. I did it with one of my new pet pros this month that I sponsored. I said, okay, great. So you can do 2 hours a week. Perfect. When? When is that? This is a job. Let's treat it like a job. Is that Tuesday? Is that Wednesday? I want to know, and I'm going to help you be accountable to it because I want to help you get the income you just told me you want to earn. I want to help you pay for your products. So in order to do that, that's 2 hours a week. When does that happen? And we get down to the nitty gritty because you do have to treat this like a job. You just do. So letting them know that ahead of time establishes those expectations and helps them, again, going back to that why of like when things are slow or when things aren't happening, they'll stick with it and it'll be part of just their daily routine. So any questions with that I may have missed? I don't see any. Okay. If so, pop them in the chat. Here's some questions I ask every new pet pro that enrolls. I send them a Google form, a questionnaire, and these are the questions they fill out. You do not have to do any of these, but you might want to consider them because they help establish. So this is after they've enrolled. Some of these things I already know, but some of them I do not. So I'm trying to get clear on, okay, let's get to know each other a little better. So how do you prefer to communicate? Phone call, text, DM, like Facebook or Instagram, or other? Is there another way you like to communicate? Facebook, Messenger, audio calls, those kinds of things. When it comes to training and next steps, what do you prefer? Check the 2 most fitting. Is it group coaching? You want to work in a group or team meetings weekly? Training sent to you in emails. You'll get to it on your own time. Bullet points, just the short version, because there's different personalities. Some people want all the details, right? Some people just want the bullet points. Some people are here for the community. They don't really care. And so group coaching works better for them. Things like this, the connection call, or if you're hosting your own team meetings, that might be a really good fit for them. Or personal one-on-one mentoring. This is always what I encourage. And we'll talk about that more in a minute. But the personal one-on-one mentoring, I make that a pretty big priority in Fast Start that, hey, I'm going to be checking in with you weekly. So if they say they don't want it, that to me, that's again, a misalignment because I've talked to them about let's talk weekly. And again, I'm getting a little ahead of myself because I have another slide that talks about that let's establish that we are meeting weekly during your Fast Start to help you stay on track, to get you through, to, help just be in your back pocket to help keep you excited and keep you engaged and celebrate all the things along the way. So those are a couple questions. Here's some other ones that I have on my form. What are you most excited about? This helps me understand a little bit more about their emotional why, right? Is it to build friendships? Is it to help improve your circumstances? Is it to add extra income to your budget? Is it to help your pets or your future customers' pets? Is it to help build your confidence? What is it that got you here? And then second to that is what motivates you or gets you excited. Like I want to be able to encourage them along the way. So recognition, being recognized, rewards or gifts, money, income, prizes, swag. What is it that gets them excited? Because if I know that and it's swag, then when they do something really great that we've challenged or invited them to do, set a goal together and they accomplish it, if it's swag, then I'm going to send them a paw tree mug. I can use my paw points and send them a mug or send them, that might be a little expensive. That might be a lot of points. So maybe it's more of like, I send them the little like we feed paw tree sticker or the little magnets or the cups, or you can buy things with points and really recognize people in very simple, inexpensive ways in the beginning. If it's a big goal, it might be a mug, right? Let's hit senior director. I'm highly motivated. I want to do all the things, right? If you hit senior director in your Fast Start period, I will send you this mug or this sweatshirt because A, you can use points, and B, you're getting matching sponsoring bonuses, right? So you can use some of those matching bonuses to help pay for some of these things. Does that make sense? And Robin, you're right. Things change. At first, you just wanted to help pay for Bessie's stuff, and then it evolves along the way. Absolutely. And I think that's why the one-on-ones that you have with your team member are so essential, because then you can find out when those things start to shift, or you can start building the belief in them when they don't believe in themselves. You can start to just like nourish that and kind of build them up so that they can start to believe in themselves more than they ever did. Does that make sense? So that can evolve and change, because in the beginning, they're like, no, I don't really know what I want. I just love the products. But if you can kind of help encourage them along the way, it might turn into something even more magical. They don't really know what they don't know yet, right? What is something you do in your spare time just to get to know them better, right? Something to talk about and just share when you're talking on your one-on-ones. What is something that people don't know about you? If you're sitting here wondering, what does this have to do with onboarding? It has everything to do with onboarding. If we're treating people like people and we're treating them like someone we're trying to get to know, and that we're finding out what motivates them, what gets them excited, we can be a better mentor for them. Okay. So that's why this is like step number one for me, filling out this questionnaire. Here's some more questions. Again, you don't have to do any of these, but a few of them I think could be very helpful in your sponsoring. In your first few months, you can take advantage of Fast Start rewards, commissions, bonuses. Would you like to learn more about these bonuses? Almost always they say yes, because we may not have had that conversation. They may have enrolled on their own or just quickly enrolled, right? And so we've got to talk through what's up for grabs. How much time, we kind of already went over this, but again, this is something I typically know before they enroll, but how much time do you have to invest in this business? 1 hour a week, 2 to 4, 5 to 7, 10. That again manages the expectations of this next question. What's the ideal income that you want to see with your pottery business? If they tell me 1 hour a week, but they checked, I want to earn 1,000 to 1,500 a month. It's like, we gotta, there's some misalignment there. We gotta manage some expectations or adjust, according to their why. And then sometimes you sponsor people that don't even know, like we talk about it being an affiliate opportunity or brand partner. Joe mentioned that word. I really like that word too, that you're a brand partner. They don't always know that there's a structure that they could build teams and grow teams. And so that's why I asked this question here. Do you plan to share the products in an effort to earn commissions, or would you like information on building a sales team as a way to maximize income earning potential? And then they can tell me right here, I only want to focus on customer sales. Don't want to grow a team. I'm not sure. I'm open to either. Or I don't even know what you mean. What in the world do you mean? Then we can have that conversation. Okay. So take that for what it's worth, but I think it's super helpful. These are the last things I'm going to go over really quickly. I know it looks like a lot of words, but hopefully it'll make a lot of sense to you. So 5 expectations they need to know before they enroll. This is what I do with every pet pro that enrolls on my team. We do a pet quiz together. I show them how it's done. And if we're not together, I text it to them. I read the results and I'm texting them back to follow up with them and say, hey, it looks like your cat, it was recommended hairball support and allergy support. Let's talk through this, right? So they do a pet quiz so that they know this is what it's done. And I love to enroll them. Who was it that said, was it Audrey? Yes, Audrey, you said that you really push the kit, that like you'll take them if they don't want to enroll with the kit. But you are really pushing, like, let's get you some products, let's get you started. And I'm the same way, because based on the pet quiz, we build their kit from there. And I mentioned all the benefits of building $100 or more, because it is a benefit. It does nothing for me. It does everything for, Cash Dash, I get matching Cash Dash, but it's everything for them because they get products in hand. They can do unboxing. They can start building their testimonial. So they're getting social media content, builds a testimonial. They know the process. They know how to do it. They know how to create their easy ship order. They know how to add to a cart, take away, change the days. I love everything about them building their own kit. So, and I tell them the benefits. They earn 15% back. If it's over 100 in new PV, they get the $25 Cash Dash. So before they enroll, this is expected. Like, we do a pet quiz because that's how we do the business. That's what I do anyway. Then I mentioned in my number 2 is that in their first 30 days, they're going to do at least 10 of those with people they know, friends, family, neighbors, not to get 10 new customers. That's not the goal. The goal is to get through 10 pet quizzes with people that will help support them and kind of do a favor for them, right? Because then it helps them learn. As they're doing a pet quiz with someone, they can see, because they marked this issue and this issue, it recommended this and this. And so it's helping them get familiar. And ideally, you as the sponsor can be modeling that for them. Like Kat, I'm going to put you on the spot. Kat and I did this for her first few. She didn't need quite 10 with me, but we did probably 4. I would think like 4 together, Kat. And some enrolled, like Patty was one of your first customers, right, Kat? And she bought a lot. And we went through it together and she was asking questions and you didn't know the answers then because you're brand new, right? So I could answer them for you.
Sorry, you let you talk.
Yeah, you just got to watch and observe. And so after we did a few together, you were able to do more and more and more. And before you knew it, you had done 10 and 15 and you had gotten a lot of new customers. And it helped build you up to be more confident at a vendor show or to be able to kind of go like social media, kind of take those next steps because you had done the pet quiz so many times. You kind of became your own expert. The expert's not really the I hate to use that word, but for lack of a better word, you got more familiar with what the pet quiz does and how it helps with that solution-based selling. So within their, like, let them know, again, another expectation. They'll do their own pet quiz and then they'll do at least 10 with prospects as a way to learn. And ideally they're doing them with you. I'm always a believer that they will have far more success if they do that. But if you're establishing this before they enroll, it's not a surprise when you're like, okay, so next steps, who are your next 10 people? They're like, what are you talking about? Like they already know, you've already explained that to them, that pet quiz you just did, we're going to do that with 10 people after you enroll in an effort to build you new sales, to get you your first commission check, to get you cash dash bonus. That's what we do. So, okay, hope that makes sense. If not, put some questions in the chat. Let's see, number 3, that you will be meeting. This is what I was referring to earlier, that I kind of got ahead of myself, that I really believe in meeting weekly with your new pet pros on the phone. Kathleen's the queen of this, and she talks about how that has really transformed her business because she has relationships with all of her team, downline included, like level 2, 3s, 4s, because she picks up the phone and calls them. It's a lot easier to hear if someone's having a crappy day on the phone than it is in text. If I send a text and say, hey, how are things? What are they likely to say? Good. Cool. Okay. Well, let me know if you need any help. Like that's so different than picking up the phone and saying, hey, how are you? Let's chat. Like, how's the last week been? Have you had pet quiz? Like, have you sent it? What's been going on? They're like, oh, I sent it to my brother and he didn't buy. Yeah, that's pretty normal. My brother didn't buy either. That's okay. Good job for doing a pet quiz. Like that's when you can really shout them out and celebrate with them because you want to celebrate. It says here, every single thing that they do. If they invite people to do a pet quiz, if you see that they have pet quiz count on their thing, they are 10 times more likely to do anything else in Fast Start. So you want to hang on to them like glue because they're trying, they're working. And so talking with them, you can talk through those ups and downs that happen with those first few reach outs. And then last, and I kind of already went on this, that let them know this is a job and treat it like one. Establish those working hours, stick to them. And when you're calling every week and chatting with them, it's a lot easier to say like, okay, well, what, how'd your work hours go? You were going to work Tuesday, did you get that 2-hour block in? And if they're like, no, I didn't. Well, what got in the way? You committed to that. Like treat it like a job. You can't just not show up for your 9-to-5 job. If you did that, you'd get fired, right? If you just didn't do what you said you were going to do or supposed to do. So help them think of it as the same, that yes, they're owning their own business, but it's really important to have these established work hours. Okay. So that is it. I know I kind of cruised through it. I have a time, I got to hop off in 2 minutes. So I've got to be wrapping up, but do we have questions that I can answer really, really quick? Audrey Levitt, on the phone or over Zoom. You had mentioned that to me, Audrey, that you love the person-to-person connection, that's just that's your jam. And if they want to text, you're like, well, I'll just pop in and go to your shop or meet you there. And I love that. How do you do a pet quiz with someone? Oh yeah, and Audrey saying over the phone or in person. That's what I do as well. Yeah, Joe, you have a question?
Yeah. So how do you do that? As far as trying to hold them accountable to what they said they were going to do without pressuring them or making it feel like you're demanding performance from them. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's so delicate.
It is delicate, but again, you're just holding them accountable. So if they said, because it's up to them, how much can you work? 2 hours a week. Okay, when are you doing that? I pin them down to when. Like I said, that pet pro this week. When are you going to do it? And that way, when we follow up, okay, so did you work here? You told me that you're going to work Tuesday. How'd that go? Well, like today, I had a call today. well, I had this other thing pop up and like this happened. I was like, okay, interesting. So we're a week behind from where you said. That's okay. Let's just reset. Let's establish like how can we avoid that thing from happening again? Like, can you talk to your children and say, this is mommy's work time? And can you put a sign on your door? What can you do so that doesn't happen again? Because otherwise it'll just keep happening, right? So I don't feel like that's as like mean or like pushy because I'm just keeping them accountable to what they told me they were going to do. So I don't feel like and it went today, it went really well with the gal today. And I'm like, let's talk again in a week. We reestablished some different hours because it appeared that wasn't working. So let's talk about some different hours and let's talk with the kids and have an accountability call with the kids and say, listen, mom needs to work during these 2 hours. Please give me these 2 hours each day and you do your things. You know what I mean? So we just kind of reestablished and we're going to talk again next Thursday, same time. And we're going to see how this next week went. See
I
if
know
it
what
went
you
better.
mean. I just always feel like that's where I lose. That's where they stop answering the phone call.
And that to me tells me their why isn't big enough, right? It goes back to that why. If they are so desperate, like another gal I'm talking to, she is so desperate. And I will not enroll her until she is fully committed to the process. Because I said, you need an extra $3,000 a month. I can get you there. I have no doubt. However, this is what you need to give me. You have to commit 10 hours a week. You can't do this on 1 hour a week. So 10 hours a week structured time, and this is what you are doing. You are following up with your grooming clients. You're making a list. I want to see the list before you enroll. Who are the grooming clients? You don't need to give me their numbers, but I want to know their names. When will you call them? Or is it during your appointments? Or, we have already talked through all of these things. And I also told her I will not enroll her without doing a product pack. So that's what we're waiting for. Because I'm like, $0 puts nothing, no skin in the game. It's so easy to walk away from that. But when you are so desperate for money that $100 is a big pinch, you're going to be like me when I enrolled, and you're going to do everything possible to earn that money back. Right? Because that's how I was like, I can't afford this. I put up my credit card. I got to get this money back. And I busted my buns I wasn't about to quit because, like, well, first I need to pay the credit card bill, It was like $450 or whatever it was then, 500, I think it was over $500. Um, so that's the kind of commitment I want. That's what I want. Someone that's like, this is really hard. I really shouldn't be spending this $100. This is really a stretch. And I'm like, well, then let's get to work. And here's what you need to do. And when you're ready, then let's go. And and I told my last text to her because she's like, do you really think I can do this? And I'm like, I know you can do this, but you have to promise me that you will never, ever quit. That's all it takes. That's the only difference between someone that can make it and someone doesn't, is that someone quit and the other person didn't. And I'm living proof of that, right? I could have quit 1,000 times, but I'm still here plugging along because I wanted the investment back, but then it just got addicting. It's like, this is so fun. I hit Senior Pet Pro. Now I hit Director, and it just kept getting more fun. And I also kept doing this, right? But I had Melissa at every up and down, just like Kat has me at every up and down, right? Kat, there's several times you're like, I don't know.
Like many of my crying moments.
But again, like your why is committed enough.
Again,
You have a big enough why that I can remind you of that. You've never once said like I'm going to quit ever. So let's be frank, like that's never happened with Kat, but there's been times that it's been hard. And it's like I want a break. I need to take a break. Same with me. I think a lot of us can relate to that, but it's recircling back to that. Kat, you want retirement income for you and your husband. You don't want a 9 to 5. So this is the path. And yes, it's hard. And let's just commit to it another day, right? Tomorrow's another day. Let's have a fresh start, or next
Can I
week.
put a little blurb in there real quick?
Yeah, of course.
Because I feel Joe and the pushiness. And I think the difference for me in accountability and being pushy is being pushy is like when you're trying to sell a product they didn't ask for. And so
Hmm.
you're trying to get them to want it.
Yeah.
Whereas accountability is something they've already asked for, and you just keep asking them kind of if they still want it. So that's where
Yep.
I kind of distinguish pushy with not being like accountability isn't pushy for me. Because they've already told you they want it. So is their word good or not? Like when you tell
Yeah.
someone you want something, are you lying or not? So it's that's kind of the difference I see in it.
Yeah. I like it. And I know we had a guest speaker, and then I really do have to go, but we had a guest speaker at PawFest several years ago. And he talked about how important it is to get back to the why, because then if they come to you and they're just like, I, I don't really know if this is for me, then you remind him and say, well, last we talked, you told me you wanted, so like with this gal, I'm this groomer, last we talked, you told me you wanted $3,000 extra a month. You needed, it was like a desperate situation. You need $3,000 a month. Did you find another way to get that? And if she's like, yeah, I did. Okay. All right. Best of luck. It's been fun. But if she's like, no, I haven't. Okay, then let's get to work. You're not going to get that 3,000 by quitting, let's get to work. So I love, again, that's why I think that why is just so important, because that's what we're consistently doing, is reminding people, bringing back to that. Why did you start? What was it that got you here? And again, like the products, I just love people to get products in their hands, because that makes it a lot easier to talk about, post about, share, all the things. So, okay, so let me tell you the slides, or the new Pet Pro questionnaire. I will put that in a replay. I have to go. I'm going to a wedding, so I've got to like jet the second this is done. So I will get that to you in the replay, but you'll have to make a copy. I'm going to make it not editable, shareable, or whatever. You'll have to make a copy of it and create your own. And then you can change it. You can take out a lot of the questions, make them better, but you won't be able to use my form, right? You just have to make a copy of it. It's in Google Forms. So I hope that makes sense. So I'll make sure that's in the post replay, but let me just mention or write down that it was Mindy that wanted to.
Trisha, I
Mhm.
screenshot each of your things. I can just send you the screenshots and you can share those. Then you don't have to mess around with worrying about your Google form.
It's easy though. I mean, because if I just make a copy and it's not shareable, it should be easy. Yeah.
Okay.
And then you guys it's easy for you to edit easier. But thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Um, let's see. Did I miss any other questions, you guys? I want to make sure. And Kara wants it too. Okay.
No, you are good. Why don't you go ahead and go?
Okay.
You give so much of your time to us already. Don't be late for the wedding.
Oh,
Go,
well,
go,
you're
go.
so sweet. Thanks, you guys, for being here. We'll see you guys next week. We're talking about, actually, Karen, will you tell them what's up for next week, you
Yep,
and
yep.
Allison? It's a good
Bye.
one.
Have a
Okay,
great
see ya.
night, Patricia.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks.
Okay, so Allison came this week. I'm going to talk about it because it's like what 1 a.m. or something in England right now, where Allison at 2 a.m.
2
Okay,
a.m.
so Allison came to me this week, and she had a great idea as making part of this call maybe once a month, where we pet pros share why we started. Is there a product that really like lit it your business on fire or has helped your pets so much? And then why did you stay? So if we share like those three things, like have 5 to 8 minutes, maybe like 5 pet pros or so join up and share their stories once a month, then we can invite new pet pros or prospects to the call during this um, once a month time during our connection call here. And so we are going to do a sample run of that and show you how it's going to work next week, June 4th. And we have a sign up form too from now through like December if you guys want to jump in after you see and help volunteer, because Trisha does a lot for us. So we're going to try to give her a break by doing this once a month. And also it will help new prospects or new pet pros to just to hear from different pet pros. And we're going to try to reach out to pet pros who aren't on this call. Maybe they'll start coming to the call after they experience it too, if they've never come before. So we can reach out to our teams. We really want to make this well-rounded, have different categories of pet pros, like groomers, vet techs, pet lovers, all the different categories represented, as well as couples, like a power couple. Some men jump on, and because a lot of us are women here, but we do have a handful of men, like Gary's on tonight, and Joshua, so we have a couple men here too. And Jeff up in the corner there, if you feel comfortable sometimes sharing. I think you're pretty new, but that's our hope. So we're going to, next Thursday, Alice and I will give an explanation. We're going to record it all the way up through the sharing of our testimonies, and then we'll stop the recording, and then we'll do question and answers, maybe give us some tips of what we should change, kind of tweak it before we bring it to everyone else. So that's the plan for next week. So we're excited about that. But thank you. It's already 9:09 or 9 after the hour. So we'll let you go. We've kept you on long enough. Thank you for attending tonight's meeting, and we'll see you next week.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
guys.